You are listening to the Beaverton, North America's trusted source of news.
This week on the Beaverton, the U.S. loses to Belgium 4-1 in the World Cup, but Trump insists the team can still move on if Mike Pence has the courage. Republicans are accused of covering up Mitch McConnell's demise in order to maintain their control over Congress, which, in fairness, is exactly what Mitch McConnell would have wanted. And a developer has backed off plans to turn legendary Toronto bar Sneaky D's into a condo. You know what that means? Nachos and HPV for everybody. That's right, it's time to make fun of the news once again on the Beaverton Weekly Report. Welcome to the show, everyone. So glad you're tuning in. I'm your host, Luke Cornfield. Joining me this week are two of our regular panelists, both of whom just got back from attending Taylor Swift's wedding, Clare Blackwood and Ian MacIntyre. Welcome back, both of you.
I was the guy selling peanuts in the stands.
I was the one who made what looks like the shittiest bouquet of all time.
I haven't seen we'll have to find that image somewhere.
It's like 5 melting flowers. I'm like, I don't believe this is real.
That was what she carried in?
I don't know, just somebody, I could be falling for something, but like a lady posted being like, I caught the bouquet, and it's like 5 wilted flowers. Like, I don't understand.
Wait, are you saying that a wedding held at a mid-sized sporting arena was tacky in some respect?
Shock and horror.
All right. Well, we will get into that later at our Patreon section. But for now, let's dive in with a slightly more important story, I suppose, which is we are doing pipelines, baby. Pipelines.
You get a pipeline. You get a pipeline.
Everybody gets a pipeline. Yes. So there has been 2 pipeline announcements since we last spoke to y'all. The first one seems a lot more real because because the actual federal government weighed in on it, and it wasn't just like 2 buffoon premiers being like, we're going to do a pipeline. But
they got drunk one night and we're just like, you know, it's a good idea. We should build a pipeline.
It felt to me like those old episodes of Ninja Turtles where Bebop and Rocksteady are like, we got a plan to stop those turtles. And like they go off and do a B story. And you're like, oh, this is charming.
Yeah, so we got an A pipeline and a B pipeline.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see what the C pipeline is.
The C pipeline, I was going to say, the C plot is Danielle Smith and Doug Ford falling in love.
Stranger things, man.
Yep.
You never know. All right, but let's talk about the real one, the one that's definitely happening, which is the one from Alberta, following the Trans Mountain route out to Tidewater, as they always say, in BC. There's I believe we have a clip of Mark Carney and David Eby announcing the pipeline.
Canada and British Columbia will work together to accelerate the projects that will unlock Canada's full potential as a global energy superpower, starting with LNG.
I know he's driving this, but that feels like someone who has got a gun to their head reading a list of hostage demands. Like, the oil industry is treating me well.
Say unlock! Say unlock! Say it!
I'm holding up today's newspaper in order to prove I'm still alive.
But then when you see him do those video podcasts that he does now, where he explains a thing for 25 minutes, he's alive. he just loves explaining something at length with no one else in the room.
And no one to talk back.
Exactly. No one asks questions.
Yeah, just that halting, like, we will do this. It's like, okay. But yeah, so to the actual pipeline itself, were you surprised that Carney is fully doing this instead of like slow playing Alberta, like the way some people suspected he was?
I mean, I think it's charitable that you said a second ago the one that's definitely happening.
Well,
I think it's definitely getting started, and it might happen, question mark?
Yeah, that's fair.
I read this very much as Carney calling a lot of bluffs. He is calling Danielle Smith's bluff by saying, like, okay, you keep telling me that you can't have a pipeline because of 5 reasons. Well, I eliminated all 5 of those reasons. And he's also saying it to the oil and gas industry. Like, oh, you guys keep saying that you'll invest as soon as we clear all the problems out of the way. Well, I just did, motherfucker. So are you going to invest or are you not?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that in the sense, like, I think he's doing shit things to the environment, but I also agree that, there's still a chance that he's kind of hoping that maybe like a potential oil crash due to the war in Iran mixed with the private companies who are too chicken shit to invest, that it's just kind of slowly going to stall the project.
I don't even know if Mark Carney wants that, and maybe he does. Maybe secretly
he doesn't. Yeah.
He has environmental principles that he's hiding from us, the general public. But I think he's like, I'm tired of the Canadian federal government getting blamed for this and being used as an all-purpose whipping boy by the oil industry and by Alberta. So balls in your court, idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what's in it for Eby? Just money, you think, at this point? Like, just to not be blamed anymore?
He got a lot of federal projects just funded.
Yeah.
And he honestly, like, if you're right, Claire, and if this doesn't go through, then win-win for Eby.
Yeah. He gets to keep his oil tanker ban.
Yeah,
That's
So-
true. I guess that was the big concession, even though it was already in place. So the concession is just we won't fuck you over, which is a concession, legitimately, because obviously that was a federal ban, so the federal government could lift it. I mean, I guess I'm a little more pessimistic than you two in the sense that I do think it's happening, because it seems like that the money, it's between 35 and 42 billion estimated. It seems like most of it, the federal government's just putting up. Like Pembina,
90%.
Yeah,
90%.
Is going to put up 10%, maybe not contractually obligated. I'm sure Alberta's in for some. But
Great work, Pembina. You paid for the garlic knots.
Like literally,
on the visa order.
They covered the tip.
Yeah. And not a great tip.
Not a good one, no.
Yeah,
A 10%
As a
tip
server,
is shitty.
I would be mad.
Yeah, and you would be well within your right. But yeah, so they don't tip on the tax, But
Oh, God, the rage.
Claire's having PTSD flashbacks right now.
yeah, but anyways, but so at least the one benefit of the dystopian future we live in is that just having the machines come out that just say 15, 20, 18%, whatever, there's no argument about whether you tip on the tax anymore. At least you got that done.
Oh, for sure. Except all the machines are now like, what about 20, 25, 40%? You're just like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
And
What
also-
if we took most of this in fees? Yeah.
I'm going to be curious, because I also kind of agree that this is going to happen. And, when they say it's going to cost between 35 and 42, I think at some point the first pipeline was estimated to cost $7 billion, and then it ended up costing 34. So I'm like, are they just kind of learning from their mistakes, or is this actually going to cost like 7 times the amount? I'm pretty sure it's the former, but I think that would be funny.
I'm pretty sure it's the latter. I mean, I know
Really?
everyone's making the whole claim that because we're following the same route as
Yes.
we did before, that there's going to be all these savings because we don't need to read blah 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 blah. We don't need to how close? It can't be that close. I understand following the same route generally.
We already know where all the gas stations are along the way. It's great.
Just going to put it on top of the other pipeline.
Yeah, what is it, double-decker pipeline?
Yeah.
Wait, does that work?
No.
Totally.
Oh, damn it.
I'm pretty sure gravity is an important part of this. You can't just build up.
Fair point.
Well, there
Okay.
goes Doug Ford's plan.
So much for my degree in pipeline engineering.
But yeah, so I'm skeptical about how many savings. Hopefully the big saving is in delays, because a huge cause of the previous pipelines overruns were the delays of dealing with indigenous groups. And hopefully, since that battle was fought and won, in air quotes, by the federal government, there isn't as many delays. For sure, indigenous groups, as they have every right to do, are going to protest, and people who are in those communities who disagree with, the governing body's decision to approve the pipeline will, I'm sure, try and halt construction, again, as is their right to do. So, there will still be delays. The idea that this is going to start pumping in, what did they say, 8 years or something like that is, absurd. It's not going to happen. But, that's the dream. But talking about the money of it, so between 35 and 42 billion, of course, this was agreed to with oil at a relatively record high because of the closing of the Strait of Hormuz. Still hasn't really filtered down into the oil prices. And
Or
gas
still really
prices.
opened.
Yeah, exactly. So do you think there's any chance we recover this investment? Assuming the government does pay 90% of it, are we going to recover this investment given how fast the world that we are trying to sell this oil to is embracing renewable resources?
I have a great idea. Carney should come up with something called a sovereign wealth fund, where because Canada is paying for all of this fucking pipeline, we get the damn money from it. That'd be a terrible idea. I know, right?
Socialism.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Just pure socialism. And also, he also has that other sovereign wealth fund, which is totally great and real, and definitely how one of those functions.
Exactly like Norway's.
Exactly like
Norway's. Don't look up what Norway's is.
Norway's doing terribly anyways. No one likes Norway. They only win all the Olympics and possibly the World Cup now.
Oh my God.
And sort of our submarine bid that we're going to talk about
Yes,
later.
that is coming up too, yes. Yeah.
I feel like as a country we've kind of just, maybe it's just we can't do anything, but just kind of skipped over the fact that when they initially said you can have a pipeline, he did it under the understanding that it would be privately funded.
Yes. Yeah.
And then he just put out, oh, by the way, it's going to be 90% taxpayer funded. Anyway, pipeline, and I'm so mad.
But so does BP still get all the money, or Suncor or whoever's pumping the oil? They get to keep all the profits from
If you
it?
look at the previous pipeline, Trans Mountain, as an example, as a reference point, so that one was, again, publicly funded. I'm sure there was some private funding, but publicly funded for the most part. And they estimate that it makes what is it, $1 billion a
$1
year
billion.
in fees and tolls, essentially. Think of
It
as
has
like
not
traffic tolls.
recouped.
But that's the point. So they're like, it makes us $1 billion a year. Has not come close to recouping the investment on it.
Great.
And
Wonderful.
and we'll need to
What
run.
is our prime minister, an economist or something? Who cares?
And we'll need to run for what, another decade plus, 15 years before it gets into the positive, even if you don't factor into the operational costs and the inevitable, it will happen, massive cleanup costs that will happen when this pipeline bursts. And we will be out billions of dollars in environmental cleanup.
Oh, because the oil companies love making good on their commitments to pay up for those.
I'm not even considering the possibility that the oil companies will cover any of that.
We won't be in court for decades with them trying to recoup any
They're
money from
already
it.
setting up their own sovereign wealth fund to pay for the baby ducks that are getting covered in oil.
Right, of
Oh, I
course.
made myself sad.
Man, I can't imagine why BC doesn't want to take on all of the risk from this.
Shocking.
Yeah. All of the risk for none of the reward.
Yeah, except for they don't. The tanker ban that was already in place stays in place. Yay! Negotiating. But yeah, so if you look at that as the example, the Trans Mountain Pipeline, and you extrapolate it out to be this thing probably comes in at least $60 billion.
Yeah.
How many years it will have to run, and for oil prices to stay. Again, you have to remember, stay at a valuation high enough that it is worth, one, taking it out of the tar sands, which is very expensive, and two, pumping it to Tidewater and shipping it to, hypothetically, China.
They're not. Renewable energies are coming.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
here.
God.
fairness,
Exactly. But like,
The worst leaders in the world are working very hard to make sure they don't.
Well, yeah, but see, here's the thing.
God.
We live in a very, even though in Canada we think we look outward to the world, we look essentially internal and to the U.S.
Yes.
And so the fact that like renewables are having the opposite of a moment right now in Canada and the U.S. Like we're turning away from them. Like makes us think, oh, the world is going back to oil. It's everyone's too focused to worry about the climate change. We're turning away. That isn't true. Like all the countries that we want to sell this oil and gas to, especially obviously China, are investing in renewable resources, renewable energy at an extraordinary rate.
Yes.
To assume that the demand for oil will be there by the time this pipeline is built, let alone the time the pipeline is paid off at the level we need it to pay this thing off, I think is a fool's gambit.
Yep.
And maybe Carney says, well, the loss of billions of dollars is worth it if it keeps Alberta happy and in the fold. And there's an argument there, but that's not the argument they're making. The argument they're making is it's going to be worth it economically.
and I'm sorry, how fucked up is that? Just we gotta spend billions of dollars to keep Alberta happy. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Well, Alberta would say we spend a lot more than that to keep Quebec happy in transfer payments and such. But not everyone can be Quebec. You're not Quebec. We don't need to go through this every week, but you have to accept that there is a historical difference to Quebec that you do not have.
And Quebec gives us things like Bonhomme and Just for Laughs and sitcoms that I don't understand.
and Just for Laughs gags.
Yeah, that I do understand. Oh my God.
And other Just for Laughs associated properties.
One time years ago, speaking of understanding them, I was filming a TV commercial, a McDonald's commercial where they were going to show a close-up of my hand. So I had to get a manicure. Didn't know what to do. Just went to the most random place I could on Bloor. And then I walked in and they were watching like Korean language news or something like that. There were no other customers. And they looked at me and they turned to the TV and they put it on Just for Laughs gags. And I was like, thank you, I think.
That's like whenever I get into an Uber and they look at me and they go, Taylor Swift time. And I'm like, oh, fuck. You're not wrong.
Oh, man, they never let me choose the music. I was just like, can I take a call? And I'm like, yeah, of
they
course,
don't
man,
let
it's
me
fine.
choose the music. They just put
They
it
just do
on.
it.
They just assume.
Yeah.
For me, it's always just, I'm going to make a phone call now. I'm like, okay, dude, as long as it's hands-free, what are you going to
I
do?
do have to ask Claire, are they right?
Slowly becoming less and less right as the years go on, but like 5 years ago, they would have been right.
Got it.
Midnight's
Makes sense.
had you. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, well, let's talk about the other pipeline briefly. And I say briefly because, as we alluded to off top, like this feels like we wanted something to announce today, and this is the best we had. So Danielle Smith and Doug Ford have announced, and here's the thing I will say before I rip into this a little bit. This is, in theory, exactly what Carney and the premiers have been talking about since Donald Trump and the 51st state started up, which is we want to sell in Canada, we want to keep the resources in Canada, we don't want to go through the states. A huge problem with our oil and gas industry, other than just the massive environmental cost, is that we have to ship it to U.S. refineries.
Of course.
So the plan is we're building a pipeline from tar sands to Sarnia, Ontario, which if you know Sarnia or if you know the map of Canada is very much blocked from Alberta by a little thing called the Great Lakes. It's on the other,
Manitoba.
And Manitoba.
Well, but no, because that's in Canada. So what I'm saying is it's hard to get to Sarnia from Alberta in a straight line because you'd have to go through the Great Lakes.
Yes. Got
So
it.
what they have come up with is what ordinarily happens is we go through the U.S.
Yeah.
Because that's how you go in a straight line.
Yeah.
So when we can't go in a straight line because of the Great Lakes. So what instead we are going to do is we are going to run a pipeline from the tar sands through Manitoba, through Saskatchewan, of course, through Manitoba, yes, through northern Ontario, straight through the Ring of Fire, the very valuable area of minerals, and straight down the Muskoka region, cut past Toronto and go down to Sarnia. And so, that doesn't seem
why
like
don't we
a
just
thing.
take a detour up to Thunder Bay just for fun?
And this is why I think this pipeline's not going to happen. The second that he says it's going through Muskoka, his entire voting base is going to say no.
Yeah.
We're going to vote you out. His cottage is in Muskoka, for God's sakes. This seems
Oh, that's
like
why there's a little
massive blind
swivel in the pipeline. It just cuts around Doug's cottage. It's a straight shot, and then it goes, and then straight back down.
Yeah, he's going to have a fund where it's like, don't want the pipeline to go through your cottage? Pay me $50,000.
Come to my daughter's next wedding. Leave an envelope on
She's
your...
having a vowel renewal.
Yeah. Wait, he has multiple daughters, though, right?
One
many
played.
weddings can you get out of this?
Yeah, one played football, and I think there's another
All right,
one.
so he's
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
marry her off like some kind of medieval princess.
Yeah, so that's the one that I'm just like, okay, geographically, and it's the nature of Canadian geography, whereas most of Ontario is actually south of the U.S.
Yes.
Like south of the U.S.
Yeah.
border, at least.
Yeah.
And so it's like most of the parts of Ontario that people live. So how do you get to it without going through the U.S.? Well, it's not going to be good. It's going to be extremely out of your way. So I give them credit for trying, but it just seems like a thing that, as you just said, Claire, like the second this becomes real in any kind of way, the backlash to you're going through some of the most prime real estate, and even if the pipeline, even if they find crown land or whatever that the pipeline can go through, again, the concern being, well, in a pipeline burst situation, you've just destroyed some of the most valuable real estate in Ontario in an economy that is very much propped up by real estate. And I feel like, a lot of Tory voters are going to have big problems with that.
Yep.
Oh, you know what they could do? And again, I know we're going to talk about this later.
Pipeline in the sky.
Close.
Oh.
Pipeline under the sea. That's why they're procuring, that's why they're procuring the submarines. Because they're going to meet it at the edge of the Great Lake and then sneak it underneath the water down to Sarnia.
Yeah.
Because it's movable like a tube.
Well, they'll just take it a few barrels at a time. That's why they need so many submarines.
Can't they just drop them like depth charges in World War II movies?
Yes, exactly. They'll float. It'll be like in Jaws, where you just see the things bobbing along the top. And that's how you know where the shark is.
Yeah.
That's how you know where the oil spill is happening underneath the Great Lake.
Yeah. Just imagining so many people standing at their dock, watching oil barrels floated down. Think about if only he was still here. Think about the follow-up Gordon Lightfoot could write about the oil spill that destroys Sterling Superior.
I'm gonna need a 40-minute song for this one.
Oh, the lake that is said is filled with the Black Star.
Where everything's dead.
So, and also, I don't know if there was really a timeline announced with Ontario, because I'm sure they would want the federal government to put up a lot of the money for this, too. The idea that we are going to be building two pipelines, one, a long distance, the other one literally cutting the country in half, covering half the country, at the same time as the world rapidly moves away from fossil fuels, is insane. That is the part that boggles my mind, is we are doubling down and now tripling down on oil and gas.
I gotta think in some ways in Alberta, the leadership, and by that I mean the oil industries, really do realize there's a ticking clock on this stuff. Yeah. And if they are going to capitalize on holding Canada hostage for an oil resource, they gotta do it in the next 10 years. Because 10 years from now, we might not be looking at that as favorably anymore.
Yeah, for sure. And if there's a world where, the thing is, Danielle Smith, as much as we mock her, has a very enviable negotiating position.
Sure.
Because she can say to Carney the stuff she can never get away with saying with Poilievre. Now, you could say Poilievre would be 100% in for this anyways, and he would be. Yeah. But, the fact that she knows the Liberals have to worry about this more than the Conservatives do, because in a Conservative government, Alberta separatists drop, support drops precipitously. It's only when the left of center, in quotes, because obviously they're not actually left of center party, gets in power that Albertans start threatening to separate.
Don't they know they're the same?
What are you talking about? Carney's clearly a communist. Look at what he's done.
Oh, you're right. The name's supposed to start with C. I forgot.
But yeah, so that's the thing is like, yeah, they have this is the perfect time to strike for them, because and especially in the oil price spike in the wake of the Iran war, everything, it's like, well, what oil prices? It's of course it's valuable stuff, and if we keep, and it'll stay this price forever. And like we're talking about one of the most volatile commodities in the world, probably the most volatile commodity in the world, that has huge spikes, huge drops. And anytime, Saudi Arabia and the petroleum states in the Gulf can just plunge the price by producing a little bit more, releasing a little bit more. And you're building massive infrastructure projects around a commodity that if it drops below a certain amount, and I don't remember the certain amount offhand, it is not worth it economically to take it out of the ground, let alone pump it thousands of kilometers and ship it out on massive ships. Like,
no, for sure.
It's insane.
Plus
that we're doing this.
multi-billion-dollar cleanup effort that's going to have to happen in Alberta to clean all this stuff up, like these dead wells that are just getting left all over the place. Or orphan wells. I remember us talking about that. There was some confusion. Well, let's talk about, because this segues nicely into the other, I think, announcement, even though it was obviously just teeing up the oil pipeline announcement, which is that video you alluded to, Ian, of Carney essentially saying, climate change, who gives a fuck? Which, if I'm boiling it down, let's hear from Carney himself.
The good news is that Canada has the solutions, and that when we control our own energy, we control our future. To understand that future, it's helpful to look at our history, because we didn't become a great country just by accident.
We became a great country by abandoning the environment.
I'm not sure all middle-aged men should have podcasts. I don't think Carney really has mastered the form.
No.
I would love him to do ad reads for Endy Mattress in the middle of these. That'd be great.
My God. When I wake up every day, I get out of bed and drink a nice cold glass of AG1. And then I read a chapter from my book, Values by Mark Carney.
Struggling with erectile dysfunction? Blue Chew is for you.
When you've been out drinking all night, Z-Biotics is the post-alcohol.
Nothing more fun than making fun of podcasts on a podcast. But yeah, so Carney has that, kind of encapsulated, phrased we are abandoning any efforts to rein in our climate emissions in the language of national unity, growing Canada. Remember when we built the railroad? We're doing that again. All that language. But he did come out and say straight up, our emissions are going to go up. We're not going to meet our targets. Now, he didn't. I don't know if he said we're not going to meet our Paris targets at all, but he basically made it very clear, like, we're not going to meet our targets. Yeah. So do we give him credit for saying that so directly to camera in a podcast setting?
I don't think give him credit is the right phrase to use. I think applaud him for maybe finally shedding his fake environmentally friendly skin like a snake.
Yeah.
Is more apt.
Yeah.
Hey, man, during the second Obama administration, it was good money to talk about how much you loved the environment. Mm-hmm. It was a good time for that.
Remember the Al Gore video with the polar bears?
Yeah, it was fun. We were all watching The Americans.
Yeah.
It was a good time, the teens. But that time is over.
I've still never finished The Americans.
Shit. We're doing a rewatch of it, finally. It's a good time. It's a great...
I still watched last season for no reason.
It's a great show to watch while you have a baby w's kind of a potato just sitting on your lap.
Literally, I did the exact same thing with Brooks. I just didn't watch the last season.
Nice.
We're the same person. But yeah, anyways. So I agree. It's one of those things where it's like, there's a certain, and this is just a human level thing of like, when the bad guy tells us he's bad, I respect it a little bit more than him pretending he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And this isn't him saying he's a bad guy, but it's him just being like, look, man, we're not gonna. Like I appreciate that a little bit more than the Trudeau era, like late Trudeau era of like, look, sure, emissions have gone up for the last 4 years, but we're committed to maintaining those Paris targets, even as like those targets got further and further out of reach. Yeah. And in fairness to Trudeau, like he was right the last couple of years, helped a lot by COVID, of his emissions did start to come down. Mm-hmm. And maybe with drastic, furthering of the Trudeau agenda, the Guilbeault agenda, we would have actually met our 2030 target. Obviously, Carney is walking away from that and abandoning it. And that's sad because he is doing that in the context of, and credit to Rachel Gilmore, former guest in the show, who has pointed this out. Like, he was literally putting out this video and then he had to cancel events because of the extreme heat that we're having in this country.
And quote unquote to him, biblical weather.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's...
Like, that's why he was late to his own press conference with Danielle Smith to announce the pipeline because of quote unquote biblical weather.
Oh, this is what it takes for him to find Jesus. Wow. Okay.
Oh, no, he's a very devout Catholic, apparently.
Sure.
Which I don't give a shit if he is or isn't.
Just like I am if my grandmother is listening.
Yeah. It's just funny that became a thing in the last couple of years where they're like, yes, famously devout Catholic, Mark Carney. I was like, what? When did we ever hear that before?
Yeah, none of us cared about this, but
Literally nobody cares.
you don't got to pretend.
No.
Yeah, I assume that was a Quebec thing, like wanting votes. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, all of a sudden now, anytime the religion comes up a little bit, they're like, well, Mark Carney's a devout Catholic. And I'm like, okay.
Cool.
Sure.
Great.
All right. But anyway, biblical weather to cancel those things. That's,
Yeah.
of course, because of the heat. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and canceling Canada Day celebrations because of the heat and the weather.
Oh, my God. Well, and the crazy torrential rain that they had that day, followed by crazy heat. Yeah, we're fine, everybody. We're totally fine.
Let's build 3 pipelines.
Well, 2 will cancel each other out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like magnets, yes.
Yeah. So, so that's the thing is it's this, and I know for everyone who's, and I'm sure there's none really, but for people who are climate change skeptics listening, they're going, it's El Nino.
A big part of our listenership.
Yeah, I know. We should have done all those ads on Oil Pipeline podcast, getting people to listen. But yeah, so. And I know there are people who are going to be out there being like, well, this year's an extreme because of Nino, and I won't pretend I fully understand how that works, but I do know that it is an extreme year, even within the context of the last few years, because of this weather system that it causes extreme temperatures and extreme heat. I understand that. But even if you discount this year and you look at the graphs of where things are moving, where the water temperatures are at, which is really what matters because that controls the icebergs, which controls global temperatures, it is skyrocketing off the charts. You know, forest fires are going to get worse every year. We're living in, if not the first stages, then probably the middle stages of what every climate change scientist has been predicting.
I was just going to say, like, climate change scientists have literally been screaming about this for decades, just saying, like, if the global temperature rises 1 degree, like, every animal in India is going to die, like that kind of thing. And we're just kind of going towards that.
Yeah, yeah. And it's easy in this country because it's like you say to them, like, well, global temperatures might spike 2 degrees. And in Canada, we're like, well, that doesn't sound so bad. Even though,
sounds kind of nice.
Yeah.
Depending on where you are.
But the whole thing about Paris is like, it wasn't like we're going to reverse the effects of global warming. It was, we're going to limit it. Yeah. Like Paris was already
we're going to slow it down.
Yeah, we're going to keep it to 2 degrees, which is already like massive floods, famines, the global south gets completely fucked over. And now we're not even going to meet that, or at least Canada's not going to meet that. Other countries are doing much better. So it's the juxtaposition of Carney saying, look, we don't have time for this right now, gang. We got to worry about Alberta. We got to worry about the U.S. No one has time for climate change like we did in 2016. Is like, but everything they were saying would happen in 10 years in 2016 is happening.
Manifestly happening in front of our eyes, yes.
And we can see it, and you can make an excuse for any individual event, like, well, that was caused by this, and the increase in forest fires is caused by we're not clearing the forest well enough, and the increase in temperature is caused by Nino, and the increase in iceberg melting is caused by this and that and this and that. At a certain point, you look at the big picture, and you're like, the climate change scientists were right.
Yeah.
As, of course, they were. And we're still just somehow denying it, even though it is now in front of our eyes. It's not a prediction of what's to come. It is happening.
It honestly feels... Oh, sorry.
No, please.
It honestly feels like when I need to, write something that I really don't want to write, and I'm like, oh, well, I got to clean the kitchen before I write, because I can't write with a dirty kitchen. And then you clean the kitchen, and you're like, oh, but I should do my laundry because I can't write if I don't have clean socks to write with, like that kind of shit. And then just over and over and over.
My gutters are never cleaner than when I have something I need to write.
Oh, yeah. Anytime I'm sitting down for a first draft of a script, it's like, well, the office has got to get organized.
Absolutely.
That'll work better.
It's got to be alphabetized.
Yeah. And also, like, they say that... Oh, I'm sorry. I interrupted you last time, so go ahead.
It's okay. You were doing good stuff. No, I was just going to say, I think Carney, this is his jobs program, that he's creating so many more jobs for climate denial scientists. That's going to be the boom industry of the future.
Yeah.
A whole new government department of climate change denial.
And by climate change denial scientists, you do mean an AI that's been programmed to deny climate change, right?
Which also contributes to climate change. It's win-win-win.
I think it's really interesting that I think the environment minister did say that they still aim to hit zero emission goal by 2050.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but if we're not going to make any of our other targets, is this like in university when you pull an all-nighter and write your essay all night? So it's like, the day before 2050, we're going to plant 5 billion trees and then cover the entire prairie in solar panels overnight. Like, is that what we're do?
December 31st, 2049, there's just an edict that goes out that every man, woman, and child has to plant 40 trees apiece.
Oh, man, I got to plant 40 trees before lunch.
The ground's fucking frozen.
Exactly.
I live in a condo.
Maybe what they meant by that is by 2050, it'll be the after times. The collapse will have happened, and we won't have any industry to make any pollution.
Yeah, I mean, that's
like 5 guys on dirt bikes driving around the wasteland, and that rounds down to zero.
Yeah.
Charlize Theron is still here.
Yeah, she's killing it.
Yeah, she's killing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that was the problem with having a 2050 target in the first place, is because it became so easy for everyone to go, sure, we might not make 2030, but we'll make 2050 because no politician in power now will be alive in 2050, let alone still in power. And so it's like, it's the easiest thing in the world to just push off on the next generation, which is what the problem has been with climate change at the beginning, is the people in power don't have a vested interest in solving it because they know they won't be around to see the consequences of it. And the people who will see the consequences of it, our generation, the younger generations after us, don't have the power.
But you know what, guys? Do you know what will solve this? More military spending.
Wow, you do my segues for me now, Claire. Way to go. No, that's a perfect segue.
No, it counts.
I didn't even mean to do that.
That is an amazing segue. Well, let's talk about the biggest military procurement in Canadian history. We have decided to go with German/Norwegian, as they mentioned, company or investiture or whatever they're called, TKMS as the preferred sub-provider. They beat out the Korean option, which was going to be like partnered with a lot of Canadian producers and also had hired Peter Mansbridge to do all their ads. So they were really trying to lay into that Canadian.
We said no to Mansbridge?
Said no to Mansbridge. No woman in Canadian history. We said no to Peter Mansbridge.
But he's going to be so mad.
His voice might go up a timber.
Oh, no.
Man's never yelled in his life, but he's going to be like...
And it's going to rumble the earth below him.
I haven't checked out his podcast since they announced it. I assume he's commented because he very famously was the voice of those ads.
Yeah, he could just be like, I got paid. Who cares?
Yeah, probably, yeah. But yeah, so like, I mean, this is a dumb question. I know World War II was a long time ago. Does it feel a little bit weird to be buying German submarines?
All I'm saying is that if we're going to go back to German World War II products, I would rather like bring back things like tornado cannons and exploding fake poo, because at least that's just like go full Looney Tunes with it. That's fun. That's fun to me.
I think a good rule of thumb in life is always go full Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
You'll just be painting tunnels on the side of mountains so people run into them.
That's going to
The Russian subs right into that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's our military strategy for sure. I just hope we can call them Das Boots when they get here. That'll be fun.
You just got to go like Das Boots, eh? Yeah.
Oh.
It's a fusion now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure, bud.
I just want to know, like, okay, so we're buying a bunch of submarines and we're finally going to be power players in the Cold War? Like, is that really everything I hear about military battles around the world right now are like missiles are out, drone technology is what is important, and we're like, no, we're going 100 years ago to U-boats.
Hey, look, if the Lusitania comes through the Arctic Passageway, that thing's going down, baby.
I mean, I think there's going to be a whole lot of middle-aged fathers, like boomer fathers, who are fascinated by this, and they're going to want tanks, because you know that they love tanks. I think this is great for them.
Oh my God, the amount of boomer fathers across the country right now who now have tons of opinions about this news story. Yeah, they've been waiting for this day for decades.
Yeah, they need the specs so they can do their reenactment vehicles. Yeah. All of our fathers are on the spectrum in this analogy.
They just all use this as the outlet. I was going to say, Luke, I know you were so excited to talk about this. At what point did you become a World War II dad?
Oh, I mean, the problem is I don't have that trajectory because I was already a World War II 19-year-old. So, like, I was a history major. I'm a massive history nerd. I like all history. I wouldn't say I specialize in World War II, but that thing where you become a dad and then get really into history, specifically World War II, I didn't have because I was already like, I've been there, man.
So it was why you became a dad.
Yeah. I only became a dad to embrace the existing identity.
It's socially acceptable now.
Yeah.
For you to have strong opinions on World War II tanks.
Oh man! Quick tangent, which is shout out to Dave Barclay, former guest of the show, as well as a guest on the podcast, as well as not a panelist, but a cast member on the Beaverton TV show, who did like such an amazing job of a stupid bit I had written years ago, where he was the tech guy, and the bit was a pregnancy test for men that was just based entirely on your knowledge of World War II.
That's great.
Where you can find out if your wife's expecting based on how much you suddenly know about German military strategy in North Africa.
I love that.
And he did such a killer job with it. It was so great. I just remember his delivery on that was so funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny, and I can't imagine how our show didn't play across the country.
Hey, that was season 1, buddy. We got renewed 2 more times after that.
Fair point.
Everything that Dave Barclay says comes to life magically.
Oh, he's a magic man.
He is.
The only guy who got a laugh every time just for saying it hello.
Correct.
Every time he'd walk on set, he'd be like, "Hey, Miguel," and the crowd would laugh. And
he's my improv partner, and I don't take that for granted.
That was not a laugh line.
Yeah.
So it is Canada's planning to buy up to 12 submarines. The estimated purchase cost has been pegged in as much as $24 billion. So Carney's just throwing money around.
That's a crazy way to say we're building affordable housing for Canadians.
They're going to live in the submarines.
Yeah. All Canadians 5'8" and under are welcome to live in a submarine.
Damn it.
Yeah, this is government subsidized housing.
Government subsidized
Boom! We did it.
Yes!
Oh my God.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, and it was totally intentional too.
Yeah, like my segue.
So maintenance and operations costs were going to be much higher. To your point, Ian, about what the hell are we doing this for? It seems like the key is very much about controlling Arctic waterways.
Okay.
Because especially as climate change, which we're helping along, lessens the amount of ice in the Arctic, those waterways are going to become a lot more navigable.
Those polar bears have had it too good for too long.
Living high on the hog. Taking you down a peg, polar bears.
And so the concern is obviously that Russia and the U.S., frankly, but we can't say the U.S. part out loud, are going to be interfering in our sovereignty and going through our territorial waters.
Fucking with Santa Claus.
Fucking with his reindeer. Rudolph's nose is now green, et cetera, et cetera. So doing all these things, violating our sovereignty, we need subs. And I think that's a fair point. Mm. But my follow-up question would be, so what are we going to do when we identify them doing that stuff? Like, are we going to engage militarily if we see a Russian sub in our waters? Like, does this just not potentially arms race, Cold War style, provoke a conflict?
God, one day Canada's getting German tanks, and the next the Russians are going to be taunting us to invade them during winter.
We're the one country that might be able to handle that.
Oh, that's true.
You got to give us that. We're not Napoleon Bonaparte at a fucking fez walking up.
Winter v. winter,
Yeah.
Jeez.
Napoleon Bonaparte in a fez. That's a great image. Of course, we're all picturing the Napoleon from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh.
No.
I was picturing there was a very bad show. It was actually not that bad. It was a Saturday afternoon show in the Xena Hercules mold.
Good.
That starred Bruce Campbell as like a jack of something. The title was a play on Jack of all trades. Anyways, he was like an American guy touring around the world in Napoleonic times. And and he encountered Napoleon in a couple episodes, and Napoleon was played by Vern Troyer of Mini-Me fame.
What?
Oh my God. It was a ridiculous show. But yeah, so that was a thing so that's who I pictured.
I love that it was a ridiculous show. They made 500 episodes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bruce Campbell is still eating out on that, for sure.
Jesus Christ.
His like Army of Darkness check is like nothing compared to... Wow. I'm saying his name right. That's the guy from Evil Dead.
Yeah. I believe it is Jack of all trades. Yeah. I sort of remember this being a thing that existed.
Anyways, not relevant. But yeah, so like, are we concerned about what we do now that we have these submarines and we identify, like, is it not better to like don't ask, don't tell this a little bit?
No, I think the plan is we get the subs going up there, we get the drop on whoever is trying to invade us, whether it's Russia or the US, and then we play them off the other one. we say, hey, Russia, I think the US is trying to invade your Arctic sovereignty. You should probably go to war with them. And then we stay out of it.
I don't want any of this.
Hey, it's better than us having to fight them one-on-one. With the military we don't have that apparently consists of 12 submarines and a pipeline that doesn't work.
And when you get 12,
Up to
you
12
get a free
submarines.
one.
Sorry.
As many.
Claire's joke was so much better than mine. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. 12 submarines if you keep the card and get them all punched every time.
Yeah. When we get that 12th one and we realize we forgot to get the card punched on the 8th, we're going to be so mad.
Oh, man.
Can I get a new card and combine them?
But they're German submarines,
9.
so they're just full of sauerkraut.
Ew.
It gets so soggy.
Very German.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's, I guess, the concern I have, at least, is like,
Oh, sure.
we have them, and it's like, we need these because Russia's going to be in our stuff. And it's like, right. What do we do when we find them in our stuff?
I feel like that's just my general feeling towards Carney throwing billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars at our defense. And I'm just kind of like, but if the U.S. or Russia invade us, like, I'm sorry. We're fucked anyway. Why are we throwing $60 billion into defense when we have so many more pressing issues? Like, and I don't know, I've been yelled at online a lot about this, about taking this stand, but I'm just
Doesn't
like,
sound like online.
I know. And I just, about like, I just feel like it's silly. To put it tritely, and I wish that the money were going towards more important quote-unquote things.
I mean, I guess Carney is just hoping to roll sevens on the idea that, like, eventually Trump will die of a coronary and maybe the U.S. has a sensible administration and maybe at that point we are under their military protection again.
Are we going to take back the tens of billions of dollars that we've already spent? Like, you know what I mean?
I have but that's the thing. I think he's just hoping.
There are outs in the deal, in fairness. Like, we don't
Yeah.
have to purchase all 12. We can cancel it after a certain amount.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gassing them up. We're like, yeah, we're definitely going to buy 12. We need 3.
Yeah.
But they're giving us, like, the package rate.
Yeah.
And then
We bought in bulk.
Yeah, bulk submarines. Yeah.
They're like eggs.
You get them at Costco.
Yeah.
Better.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean.
But it's a fair point. You're totally right about, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Why are we spending all this money when,
Like, if they really want to take us over, they're going to take us over.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not saying that that's going to happen. That's crazy and fear-mongering, but, like, still, it just seems absurd to me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this goes towards our military spending percentage of GDP commitment that we made to be a part of a NATO state, and then Carney went above and beyond. And I get that, and I get that, in a world where Putin is obviously Putin and Trump is obviously Trump, spending on military is popular for obvious reasons. I get that. But it does, as you point out, Claire, reach a fundamental problem of there's nothing we can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I know we love the idea of, in a world where Trump invades or Putin invades or whatever, of the glorious Canadians standing tall and blah, blah. There is nothing we can do.
Nope.
We could fight a guerrilla war and go that route and insurgency and all that stuff. But the idea that we are going to oppose them militarily, like stand at the border, our massive border with the U.S. and somehow repel them the way we did in 1812, is not going to happen.
Yeah.
We all know that.
So why don't we build houses instead with the billions and billions of dollars?
We are. If by build houses you mean give billions of dollars to developers to bail them out.
That's not what I meant. Crazy.
I never do this, but I will give a shout out to the conservatives who are making a big stink about that, and I completely agree with them, and are calling for inquiries on the development bailout and just giving money to developers, and the Liberals are trying to shut it down. And for once, I hope the Conservatives win, because like that's so obviously corrupt in a Doug Fordy way, but Carney can't get away with it like Doug Ford can.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I have heard the argument that the Conservatives want the condos to all go for below market rates so that giant housing corporations can snap them up.
oh great, fuck me.
That's just speculation. I don't know if that's actually true, but I can't imagine anyone actually has people's. I can't imagine any of the federal leaders have the interest of housing should be cheaper as their motivating goal.
No, for Poilievre, and we're obviously on a tangent here, but for Poilievre, I would say he can say that when he's not in power.
Yes.
But of course, the second he gets
yeah.
in power, knowing how much of the economy the housing market is, he can't want housing prices to crash. Yeah. And it is worth saying, like, housing prices have dropped significantly, but obviously not to the level that they need to. So it's one of those things where it's like, in opposition, of course you vote for lower housing costs. when you're in government, you don't want the economy to collapse.
Of course, yeah.
So you can't root for lower housing costs at a dramatic level because that will crash the economy. Yeah. Well, before we move on to our big finish, a quick message to you, listener. First of all, thank you so much for checking out the show. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe, jump on your app of choice, leave 5 stars, leave a review. It really helps us move up in the charts and get more eyeballs on this thing so we can help grow it to be the biggest and best thing it can be. If you're so inclined, you can also check out our video clips on any of your social media of choice. Share it, tell your friends, tell your parents, tell anyone who will listen to check out the show, and we really appreciate that. If you would like to support us monetarily, you can do so at patreon.com/thebeaverton. Not only will you be keeping the website going, keeping the podcast alive, you will be entitled to an extended cut version of this podcast every week where we talk about a story or stories we didn't cover on the rest of the show. This week, we dove into all the interesting details that have come out about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding, the private affair held at the world's most famous arena. So it's a lot of fun. So check that out if you'd like at patreon.com/thebeaverton. That's also the place where we engage the most with our comments. Frankly, the only place where we engage with our comments. Right now, we're currently having a lot of fun talking about the fact that we were voted the least reputable domestic news source in all of Canada. So thank you to our Patreon members for helping us get there and achieve this goal. We finally beat the rebel, y'all. We've been trying to do it for a decade. They're more trusted than us, suckers.
Wouldn't want to be Ezra Levant right now.
Or anything. But yeah, so thank you to our Patreon members. And Ian, do you have a few shout outs this week?
Yeah, we got some nice comments on the Patreon this week, specifically about last week's episode. Shazzy D, who I love that username, wrote, "Straight grandmother here. Loved this episode so much. Fabulous energy and loads of laughs. Happy Pride Month." That was, of course, the Pride episode that we did last week with our special Pride panel. That was a really great time. We got to maybe do that every year. That was a fun time. Also, another comment that we got about the trustworthiness, Kate Moss, who I assume is the early 90s supermodel, said, "I think y'all are way more trustworthy than the Weather Network. The majority of what I know about Bonhomme is what I've learned from the Beaverton. Hashtag the more you know." So that's perfect. And just a couple of comments on YouTube. Stephen Summers and Any Talks both said, "Yay for full video on the Beaverton. Love the full video," because I uploaded the full video last week. But nobody watched it. We got fewer views than normal. I don't know what you want, the internet.
You'll never find out.
You'll never figure it out. Anyway, back to the Patreon. Just some of our supporters that we just want to say a thank you to. Some of our new supporters, Luc Bellevance, Thomas Westphal, and Chris Pollock. And some of our OG supporters, Flora Hendry, Sean Doherty, and Leah MacIntyre, which I feel like is an anagram of my name that I can't quite figure out. Did I do this in my sleep? Anyway, thank you all very much for your Patreon support. Luke said he's right. It does mean the world, and it keeps the Beaverton going. So thank you very much.
Awesome. And now it is time for the approximately 10-minute long quiz.
It's the approximately 10-minute long quiz. Brought to you by Time.
Every week, I ask the panel to play the approximately 10-minute long quiz where I put their knowledge of some less widely reported news stories to the test. Panel, your first question. Shortly after helping his team win a thrilling 3-2 match over Mexico, English captain Harry Kane gave an interview that immediately went viral. What was notable about this interview?
He shotgunned a can of English baked beans.
Oh, God. I was so expecting like an English ale or something. The baked beans really got me. Oh. Horrifying.
I think he should not have done that Speedy Gonzalez impression. Wearing a sombrero and drinking a Tecate the whole time? Yeah, it did not go over well.
In Mexico, that'd be a bold move.
Yep.
Yeah. After already having beaten the team. Both great guesses. Does anyone know the real answer? Okay, well, I can tell you, but why don't I let you hear it?
What can the England fans look forward to now?
Well, just look at them here. Incredible. Unbelievable support. Speechless. I can't even talk.
He had completely lost his voice and so sounded like some kind of cross of Mickey Mouse and Lois from Family Guy.
Oh, I thought he was pooping himself to death as he spoke on air. And those were his last words.
It sounds like he's having a heart attack.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It immediately went viral because So this is a young man in his physical prime and not a 90-year-old archduke? What's sad is that I was going to say...
He is English. He could be an archduke.
What can the England fans look forward to now?
Well, just look at them here. Incredible. Unbelievable support.
That man is older than King Charles.
He's like 2 days away from being photographed in the back of a car.
Like Prince Andrew. Yes, exactly. Older than that.
Yeah.
Tell my great niece I leave everything to her. Don't listen to the wealth. No, he
Lord.
is. I was about when you said so. This is a young man. I was about to say, well, he's actually a bit of a veteran. Then I realized he's like 31. And I was like,
no.
and I just withered away. But yes, no, he is the captain of the English team. He's by far maybe not by far their best player, but he's one of their 2 best players by far. And so after they win, what they do is it's their celebratory thing is they go over to the English fans and they all sing Wonderwall together. And so apparently
Little on the nose.
Yeah, I know, but England. And so even though what's funny about that is that the Gallagher brothers famously said they support Ireland because even though they're born in English, they're Irish by nationality or by ethnicity. Anyways,
See, they couldn't get Paul McCartney to sing for them.
Yeah. So they go over and sing Wonderwall together, and apparently he was just belting it out so loud that he just lost his voice completely. And I'm sure obviously running for 90 straight minutes didn't help either, and maybe caused some inflammation or whatever. But what's funny about this, in addition to just it's all funny, is that he's not even the most embarrassing thing to happen out of that because another guy on the team, after seeing Wonderwall, he tried to hop over a little bench they had, and he fell and broke his arm in 4 places.
What?
Yeah. So Wonderwall is just destroying the English left and right now.
Oh my God.
This was an English player who broke his arm?
Yeah, no, he's a scrub. He doesn't play much, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, luckily it's all kicking, so he can still go.
No, you cannot play football with multiple broken arms.
Wait, both arms?
No, multiple broken bones in your arm.
okay,
He needed surgery immediately, apparently.
Jesus Christ.
That's Jordan Henderson, who did nothing during the game. He did not play, but he did get a yellow card for yelling at the referee, and then he broke his arm in multiple places. All right. No points on that one, but we had a lot of fun. Our next question. Peter Thiel, legendarily good guy, has come out against Pope over his call for AI regulation. What harsh attack did Thiel level against God's chosen representative on Earth?
I'm going to say he called him a Mennonite spy.
You're close.
Oh!
Well, he didn't call him the Antichrist because that's what Greta Thunberg is, according to Peter Thiel. Mm-hmm. Literally, that's what he said. I think he definitely accused the Pope of hiding Christ's bloodline in a Da Vinci painting. There was a big conspiracy around it.
Yeah. Good.
I didn't read those books.
What's the MAGA version of Tom Hanks that he's going to send after?
Kid Rock.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Fuck.
No, both great guesses. Claire, you're in the world. Do you know what the real answer is?
Oh, no, because that answer was so stupid that I can't fathom it.
He called him a Chinese communist spy.
Oh, for God's sake.
Or Chinese communist agent, I should say, but spy-ish. So, so he said he was
those
doing...
communists famously love religion.
Yeah, well, so what his claim is, he said, unwitting or whatever, because basically what he was saying is if we don't do it, China will. So if you regulate AI, then China will make all the AI, and the Chinese communists will be in our AI, and blah, 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 blah. And basically just I don't want you to regulate the company because he's invested in many AI companies. And so he's just don't stop us from stealing your data or else China will steal your data. And so he came out against the Pope. And as you mentioned, Ian, he is obsessed with the Antichrist. He's given many lectures on the Antichrist. And has apparently read and written essays on the Antichrist.
And they're all fucking terrible. Religious scholars look at this, they're like, this guy couldn't know less what he's talking about.
But I wonder why a guy obsessed with the Antichrist would have some problems with the Pope. I wonder if there's any stories or parables about the devil coming in as a rich businessman who then challenges the Pope. It couldn't be that. Anyways.
Rich businessman who says democracy is incompatible with freedom and is working to create a surveillance state.
This is the dumbest timeline. I hate
but we got that Harry Kane story off top, so it's all fun.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, next question. A California man accidentally dropped his sunglasses in the toilet last week, and the situation got worse from there. What do you think happened to him?
I think that California man was Randy Newman, and now he had to change the song to I Hate L.A.
I hate this one toilet in L.A.
No, he hates the town. I hate L.A. Yeah. That's what Randy Newman sounds like, I assume.
I only know you've got a friend in me. That's him, right?
Yeah, that's him as well.
You've got glasses in the toilet. All right. Sorry. I'm so sorry, listeners.
I mean, I'm gonna say that they were those meta glasses, and he was streaming, and then his viewers just got a really intimate look at the California sewage system.
Ooh, that's probably gonna happen at some point.
It will.
That did not happen in this case. what would be, hazard a guess at what you think would happen when you get your sunglasses stuck in the toilet? What do you do next?
Like, did he get his arm stuck in the toilet pipe trying to get them?
He got all of him stuck in the toilet
What?
because this is... yeah, so this is...
Go on.
I'm going to explain, but it's a point to Claire because you got close enough. So this was a campground vault toilet. So it's not connected to sewage pipes. It's just got a big tank underneath that holds the stuff.
Oh,
so
no.
So he went in after...
There's no way these sunglasses were that nice.
Yeah, exactly. So he fully Ewan McGregor train spotting in, except instead of after the heroin he was painfully and hopelessly addicted to, it was just like a pair of Oakleys or something. But yeah, he went in after his sunglasses and got stuck.
Like just floating around in the sewage.
I don't think it's a floating situation. It's a tank situation. Well, I guess there would be some liquid, but
It's like an outhouse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah, I don't know if he was I don't know how much liquid was in there. I don't know if he was floating or sludging. I don't know.
Oh.
But yeah, so the man was in the tank for about 10 to 15 minutes before being removed, authorities said. After being extracted from the tank, the man avoided any major injuries and was sprayed down for decontamination by the responding California fire unit before he left the scene. There was no information on whether he actually got the glasses back or not.
He doesn't deserve them.
No.
That's disgusting.
They belong to the tank now.
Oh, God.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's, you know. I know it's disgusting, and I'm sorry for everyone. I guess I should have given like a warning in advance of that. But how do you not include the story like that in this quiz?
We're in it now.
We're in the end game now.
I was just trying to imagine how a man got himself stuck, like his full body, into a toilet bowl pipe.
Yeah, no, it's
Like
a
Ant the
specific
Clown or
camping.
something.
Yeah. That's what I was figuring out too. And then I read the whole story. I was like, oh, it's like but how? He must have been an incredibly slim person to like get in there, assuming it's a relatively standard toilet opening size. And how you would decide that your glasses are worth, because even if you think you're going to get back out, you are sticking your hand and at least head to be able to see in there to get it.
Yeah.
Blah. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy has to leave California now.
That guy has to leave the planet.
That guy's from Florida in his mind.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, last question. This is complete the headline. I'm going to read a headline. It's missing some words or a word. You fill it in for me. Toronto music scene has a blank problem.
I have no idea, so I'm just going to say bats.
Interesting.
Can't go wrong with bats.
Yep.
I was a good guess.
I think Toronto music scene has a broken social scene problem. After 20 years, just every musician is in broken social scene. It's too big.
It's an ever-expanding thing, like the universe.
It didn't stop for 2 decades. Exactly.
We've raced in broken social scene.
Exactly.
Chaos is like, I don't want to be in broken social scene.
Sharon, Lois, and Bram are in broken social scene. Everyone.
Oh my God.
It's unsustainable. They can't meet their payroll.
The Weeknd thought he got away, but then he came back to Toronto for a visit and found himself doing an instrumental version of
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm just saying, The Weeknd doing Almost Crimes would be pretty banger. The headline is, Toronto music scene has a banana man problem, which I will explain.
I'd prefer you didn't. Okay. I love the mystery.
Well, that's our show.
No, please explain.
There's a real headline that was on Global News. A man named Scott has been going to a ton of shows, mostly hardcore punk and metal shows, dressed in a sparkly banana costume. Obviously, he's doing this for social media likes, but it has caused problems as he's clearly antagonizing these punk and hardcore guys, which is maybe the most punk thing you can do. I don't know. If Superman's punk. At a recent show, the singer of the band was so pissed he encouraged the crowd to attack Scott and rip off the costume, which they gladly did. Scott Banana Man, I should say, was hurt and bruised, but based on recent posts, he has acquired a new Banana Man costume and is back attending shows.
Thank God.
Well, I mean, even if he's bruised, you can still use him for Banana Man bread.
You just put him in the freezer.
Yeah.
All right, well, at the end of our quiz, with a whopping 1 point, our winner, Clare Blackwood. As always, you've won absolutely nothing, save for the right of first plug. Tell the people what you'd like them to know about.
Yeah, I have a Patreon. If you want to support me, I make fun comedy videos on YouTube. You can just look me up at The Very Unfunny Leftist on Patreon.
Awesome. Ian.
Yeah, I was going to shout out some articles from the website this week, and I forgot to look them up ahead of time. So I don't know, go to thebeaverton.com. There's great articles there. They're funny.
Well, I'll do one for you, which is I don't have the exact wording in front of me, but your headline on Pierre Poilievre's Stampede outfit that we have posted was great. I know you don't want to shout it out because that's yours, but that one was hilarious. It's doing extremely well. So go check out thebeaverton.com for Ian's hilarious Poilievre article.
I got them here. Mary Gillis wrote a very funny one. Mark Carney promises to take climate change seriously once every other problem on Earth is solved. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We had a couple good ones this week. Go check it out, people.
Awesome. While you're there, subscribe to the Beaverton newsletter, beaverton.com/newsletter. Get the best of the Beaverton delivered to your inbox every Sunday, unless it's a holiday or I forget. All right, we will talk to you next week. Goodbye.
The Beaverton Weekly Report is produced by Andrew Rivamy in partnership with the From Superheroes Network. Visit FromSuperheroes.com to hear more great podcasts like this.